when I was in school, I used to go out with this guy. Imagine me as a 14-year-old and he was, I think, 16, so we were young. We went out and he was a popular kid in school and I was a sports kid in school, so we were quite so-called popular. But he cheated on me, so we broke up. Fast forward a few years later, a friend comes up to me and go, hey, I bumped into so-and-so and he asked me for your number, so I gave it to him. I'm like, why did you do that? He calls me up and I figured, hey, you know, bygones be bygones, it's been a few years, let's see what's up. We went out for coffee. He's just not who I would prefer. But Valentine's Day comes along, and we weren't dating. I get a text from him asking me what time I'm gonna be home. So I'm out with my mates, and I said, I don't know, 8 something, but you know, I'm out with my girlfriend, so I don't really need to account to anyone. I ended up coming home around midnight. Then as I got off the taxi, I see this weird looking guy, and he had a huge bouquet of flowers, a big Winnie the Pooh, box of chocolates and like lollipops in his hand, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, you know, I just wanted to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. And I'm like, how long have you been here? He's like, well, since 8:30, because you said you're gonna be home at 8:30. I'm like, okay, well, thanks, see ya, bye bye. The whole package that he gave me, there was a mixed CD with a picture of him on the cover, and in the CD, the first track was him saying, oh, my dear staff, it's been 6 years and I know I did you wrong, but I just wish that we could start all over again. I still really love you. And I'm like, we were not even 16 years old. How do you even know love? Anyways, gross.
It's not that bad, but so this guy that I met through a friend, they're not friends anymore. Not because of this whole thing. I hung out with him maybe twice, and it was with like a party and other people, and this was like the first time he asked me to hang out, and he took me to like, not dinner, but it was at this like cafeteria. And then, cool, yeah, we, you know, hung out, talk, and then he walks me over to the brewery, the steam whistle brewery with that like train thing. And then it's like he's showing me around, because this was like when I just moved here a couple of months, and then he's like telling me all this, and then it was really cold, it was November, and then he's just kind of like, I had my like hands out, but I was not indicating anything, and then he just kind of like, whoop, and I was like, oh, okay, this is not going where I was gonna like planning to, and then he was just like, he kept holding my hand, and I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm holding cold dead fish. And then he walks me over to the harbor front, and it's all like, he's showing me like, it's pitch black, there's nothing to see, and he's like, oh yeah, this is like harbor front. I'm like, yeah, I know, I've been here. And then I kind of just like do like a thing, and I put my hands back in my pocket, and he kind of like gets the idea, and I'm like, yeah. And then it was so awkward, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to do, because I'm so bad at like rejecting people, because I feel bad. And then I just like go, like we leave, we part ways, and I feel bad. So then like, but there's no chance, so I call him, hey, like, yo, by the way, sorry, I don't feel that way, let's just be friends. He's like, yeah, okay, cool. And then, yeah. They all make fun of me, and they're all like, ooh, so-and-so got Claudia'd. Ooh, that's the first boy she Claudia'd in Toronto, and I've Claudia'd like 4.5 guys since I moved here. So, sorry, 5, so, yeah, Claudia'd, it's a term, hashtag.
Once upon a time, I met somebody. It was when I first moved to Toronto. They were nice, they were friendly, and like they texted a lot, but I was like, well, maybe it's the age gap, because like they were like 24, but they texted all the time, non-stop. Like, hey, hi, what are you doing? Nothing. What about you? Nothing. What do you want to do? I'm like, oh God, I don't want to talk right now. And so actually I changed their name in my phone to Stage 5 Clinger, because they texted me all the time and I just couldn't deal with it. I need space. After that was finished, he ran my name up and down the flagpole and saying how shitty of a person I was.
Okay, so this is not the worst one, because I'm not explaining the worst one. I'm not dealing with that drama. So it was surprisingly after I had left that last one. What was it? We had gone to a board game place for Snakes and Lattes, and it was maybe our second date, and like at that point we had kissed at that point, so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And the date had gone well. I was walking him to the subway station, and we were still like a good like 20 minutes away. He felt the need that like at this part he wanted to kiss me. Before we had like a few pecks and everything, I was like, fine. But it was basically like living in a horror movie. So there's just me being calm and everything, and then I'm just hearing like the theme song from Jaws, just like dun 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 dun, and it was like his mouth had like swallowed my entire chin to the point that it was like being sucked up like a vacuum cleaner, that it threw me a little backwards. And then when he like stopped kissing me, it was like saliva had like slimmed down my chin, and it was just like one of the most uncomfortable, gross feelings ever. And I think he thought that it was perfectly fine. And I was just like, okay, maybe he's being a little too excited, so I gave him one more chance to do like another date. And it was like, no, if you're a bad kisser, once a bad kisser, always a bad kisser. It was years ago, and he had texted me at one point saying that he liked me and that he wanted to take things forward. I said, let's take things slow, and then he ghosted me. And I was like, okay, good, because it was not gonna work out.
Don't tell me what to do.